I'm Jason Hartz, and this is the 2 Minutes of Guts podcast. Eleanor and Johnny, are you ready to tap into your 2 minutes of guts?
Yeah, I'm a nervous wreck. I don't know what this means. I thought we were going to work out. I didn't know what any of this meant.
These two guests I've known for 30 years, and quite frankly, I'm not sure where this episode is going to go. Also, I'm running out of favors, and this needs to go well the first time out of the chute. So let me start with Johnny. Johnny, I've watched your career flourish from working the back door at the world famous Comedy Store to a cast member on Fox's Mad TV, HBO Comedy Showcase, Late Late Show on CBS. You've done a half hour of comedy specials on, or at least you did the Comedy Central, a half hour special. You have dozens of other credits to your name. And I personally saw you open for Louis Anderson on the Vegas Strip, which was a thrill for me.
I didn't know you came to one of those shows.
I did. I came with my brother. And likewise, I've seen Eleanor go from Comedy Store cocktail waitress to getting her name on the marquee of that very same club. Eleanor opens for Andrew Dice Clay. You headline around the country. And might I say, opening for Andrew, would you say is arguably those are the toughest crowds in the country? Agree or disagree?
Yeah, agree.
Yeah. You shot a half-hour comedy special at the Comedy Store. You shot one for Bill Burr, I believe. Yes.
That's like the Comedy Central Presents. They were shorter, but yeah.
Copy that. And you did a Showtime special too. You were
it's same thing with they were shorter sets. Dice was hosting.
Compilation.
It was called The Blue Show. Yeah.
Copy that. All right. And then you are a frequent guest on the Joe Rogan podcast. I know that.
Yeah. Let's get Joe Rogan right. Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah.
I kind of like podcasts.
I wouldn't say frequent guest, but I've been on a few times. Like
Sure.
he's so good to me, so I don't want to be like
Now-
he puts me on every week.
Copy that. Now here's
Are we
the
going to
thing.
say that the whole time?
I don't know. I do that when I'm nervous.
Okay.
Now, not to be undone, not to be outdone, I happen to have been a comedian several years ago, and I happen to run a weekly comedy show at the Holiday Inn at the intersection of the 405 and the Sunset Boulevard.
That's a good room.
And I don't know if you're aware of this. It was called the Podium Show because the microphone was attached to a podium. And all of the comedians had to stand in front of the podium to deliver their acts.
That's so awful. Is this part of the Two Guts? Because I don't.
Yes.
That's why you said podcast, because your brain was already going to bring up the podium.
Yep.
You were already thinking podium, and you said podcast.
True.
Now,
This is my podium podcast. Podium podcast.
Right.
So good.
And if you don't mind, real quick, because when these things go, you got to catch them before they leave. Maybe someday you'll do a podcast that's in front of a podium, and you'll call it the Jason Hartz podcast.
Now we're thinking. Now the wheels
see
are
how that-
turning.
Anyway.
That's why he calls them wheels, because the wheels are always turning.
Always turn. Always.
So quick.
Is that why?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, it's not because of his car. He
All
never
right.
had one.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the discussion today. And
Is that an Irish dig? I'm just asking.
I have a very difficult job ahead of me. I can see that.
Yeah, and by the way, I just found out, Al, I hate to break it to you, shepherd's pie is actually originally an English dish.
Whoa. You think I didn't know that?
Oh, you know that?
Yeah, of course. And we don't like those people. So go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, I better edit that part.
It's also something they stole from us, but no big deal.
Hey.
Just another little thing they stole from the Irish.
Oh, I see. See, we're learning. We're learning already.
Yeah,
all right.
The Australians also say it's theirs. Whatever.
If I might, thank you. All right. Now,
boy, the host is annoying, huh?
I would like to talk to. I'd like to learn about. Right. Let me.
My busy background.
Let me begin with the central pillars of today's discussion, which is confidence, timing, and experience. If you think about confidence, timing, and experience and how it's played into your career, we're going to be discussing that and how you've leveraged your confidence, timing, and experience to progress your careers. And when you've taken risks on stage, when you have uh, pushed this, you've read the tea leaves, you've understood how the room is working, and you've shifted and you've pivoted. Quite often salespeople need to do the same thing. They need to read the room, they need to pivot in and out of different types of conversations, and in order to progress their sale. And so, where I'd like to begin with each of you is I want to get an understanding as to the first time you got on stage and where those guts came from for you to even take that first step. Eleanor, why don't you start?
Why'd you do that?
All right, Johnny, why don't you start?
I'm kidding. I'll do it.
All right.
I'll
She
do it.
doesn't get to just dictate this good. This is hilarious. She's telling you what to do on your podcast since we started. We
I
started
was waiting for somebody to call me out.
She's like, all right already, Jay. Let's go. Get it going. We're running out of time. You do it.
Wait.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So it is confidence, but if they sold confidence, I would go bankrupt trying to buy it because I don't really have it. I fake it. I can fake it. And then I literally afterwards I fold. But what happened with why I got on stage, I mean, I think you guys know, but maybe the audience doesn't, but after Freddie passed, our friend Freddie Soto, he would always say, you should be doing comedy, you should be doing stand-up, and you would get more like acting stuff if you were doing stand-up. You know how people would like become comics for like a month and then they get a TV show and they're like, oh yeah, I used to do that. That's a horrible thing to do. But I was like, when Freddie died, I was lost and I didn't know what to do. So I started writing this one woman show about my family. And then my friends Cynthia Levin and Adam Barnhart, as you guys know, were doing a show, the Promenade. What's that one called?
Oh yes. Yes.
I forget the name of it. The
You
theater.
mean that Santa Monica Comedy Club place right behind the
Yes.
promenade? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And so they were doing a show there and it was really small seats. And, you know, I hold the Comedy Store in such high regard that I was like, I'm not going to step on stage for the first time at the Comedy Store, never being on stage. That's ridiculous. So I went to the Promenade with Cynthia and Adam, and I went up and I was just telling stories about my family. And it just, everyone was laughing, but I knew everybody in the audience. It was like all the waitresses, all, you know, and I was their boss. So they were technically laughing because they're like, yeah, we don't, you know, whatever. I mean, it's me. They know my stories. So then a little bit later, they invited me to the Comedy Store to do it again. And it didn't go as well, but I got bit by the bug. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like I had the confidence to go up that one time because I was surrounded by people I was encouraged by, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm really good at this. And then I went to the store and they were like, no, you're not. And like, it's because it's something you have to work at. And so I did. And then one night I was doing in the belly room, and Andrew Dice Clay was in the audience. I told him to come see this. I said, I'm just doing stories about my family. He goes, all right, I got to see this. He came, he was coming to basically mock me, which is kind of funny. And he came and this guy fainted. So when you have to, you can't ignore the elephant in the room. So I just roasted this guy until he came to, which is not nice, but I didn't know what to do. And then once I saw this guy was fine, it was like like it became, and he goes, yeah, I faint a lot. And I'm like, then don't go to comedy clubs. Like, what do you do? Well, so Andrew just watched me rip this guy to shreds for no reason. And he goes, what you're doing is comedy. I go, no, I'm doing a one woman show. He goes, that's not a one woman show. You're doing comedy, stupid. And because that's a term of endearment.
Yeah, but you
for
would do
him.
that. You were doing that. You were a waitress at the store for what, 7 years, 8, 9
12.
years?
12.
So 12 before
That's
you
what I
took the
thought.
stage.
Yeah.
A slow
And so
learner.
what was you were
But she was the head. Let's remember, she was the head waitress. Like she
like
was
the
the one
last
hiring,
six.
and yeah,
The
it
last
wasn't like
but
six
she.
still,
years.
but like, you know, you would
But I even
destroy half of the comedians in the kitchen, you know, like,
that was my favorite thing to do. But even when I started doing the one woman show, I called Mitzi because I don't want to disrespect the Comedy Store in any way, shape, or form. And I said, Mitzi, is it okay if I do this one woman show in the belly room? She goes, oh my God, that's what it's here for. Perfect. Do it. Don't invite the penny.
oh, that
Okay.
was my nickname, the Penny. Well, just a minute. Johnny, did you know that Mitzi called me the Penny?
I did not. Oh, because you're tight?
Close.
No, not because I was tight, because I would,
Borderline.
we'll get to that. I want to thank Eleanor for joining us this evening. And Johnny, why don't we start with your first time on
Wait.
what?
What you got to tell me about the penny?
All right, here's what would happen. Because you earned 50 I was earning $50 a day,
Right.
right? And she'd be like, "Oh, go get 7 things at Gelson's." And like I would travel all over town. I'm like, "Can
Air
I get some?"
One. Go to Air One.
No
Yeah.
petty cash. Keep your
None. Zero.
receipts. Keep your receipts. And so
Oh
at the end
no.
of the week, I'd be like, "Hey, can I outlaid a lot of money. Could I get?" Yeah, we'll get your money, you know. It,
Okay. I just say one.
yeah, yeah. And
She
by
would
the way,
ask him.
for the
He would
listen,
clock out. He would clock out. She'd ask him to do something. He'd clock back in.
all right. And for those that are listening, Mitzi is
I don't think
Mitzi.
this is good for his book.
We're talking about This is Mitzi Shore. This is Polly
Ah,
Shore's mom. Like some of
yes.
the audience doesn't know, you know.
Yeah, she's very powerful
I mean,
and
legendary. Legendary. Yes.
did so much for comedy throughout, like, built an empire out here. And Jason
Yeah.
would drive her around in her car and leave her angled on a hill while he went in and dropped his headshots off to an agent. So
All right, that's another story for a different time. Uh, we could talk about that, and then yeah, there was that. I remember I left her in the Comedy Store van. Remember the old van that was really?
120
Yes.
degrees out.
Yeah. I left her on Robertson, and I was like, I have to drop these flyers off at CAA, and really,
Oh.
okay. Anyway, so Johnny,
Yes.
let's.
So very powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
before you even get onto my thing, I do want to interject so people understand too as well. When I was already a regular there and kind of hitting and popping and in the mid to late night, I got picked up in '95, so this was already when I kind of found my groove or whatever. But I used to tell, I don't know if Eleanor remembers, I think she does, but I used to tell Eleanor back in the back bar, you should do stand up, Elle. And she would even back to
Yeah.
it was always because she was just like, I do it here. Because she would make all of us laugh all the
And
Yeah.
time.
my thing was, I was like, you guys, just misery loves company. You're all miserable because you're on the road all the time. And I remember teasing Freddie about it. Even Rogan would say it. And I would just tease them about it. I'm like, you just want somebody else in your little miserable world. And now I'm in it.
Yeah.
So
And
furious.
when she did start, when I found out she had started and she was actually, I don't know if I saw her at the store or where I saw Elle, but I remember going, oh yeah, finally. Like we had been telling her this for a decade.
Yeah.
But I
Literally
did.
being
I
told a
love
decade.
you.
So
But that little bit of confidence, and then I got bit by that bug, and then
yeah.
every night I had to fake that confidence. But once I'm on stage now, I still feel like I fake the confidence, like I'm next, and then I
Yeah.
go up, and I let everything
Well,
out.
you say, Johnny, I want to get to you next, but I don't know if Johnny knows this. Eleanor, you know this. I knew Buddy Hackett back in the day.
Wait
I
a
don't
minute, when
know.
Okay.
you say new, Is this with the letters? What do we?
Yes, the letters that
Okay,
I
okay.
would. Yes,
It's not my story to tell. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. So anyway, I knew Buddy Hackett, and he invited me over to his house with Johnny Dark and
Oh, I remember John. I started with John. Johnny Dark was already seasoned when I
Pitbull
started.
of
Okay, go ahead.
comedy. I'm jumping all over the place, but go
But
ahead.
wait,
Yeah.
tell him what Buddy Hackett told you when you came over.
Buddy Hackett told me that, or well, he told me a lot of things.
But he said all the kids are going to be.
Oh yeah, all the kids are going to be here. Meanwhile, Lou Nyes, Johnny Dark. He's on Curb Your Enthusiasm. He played the father of,
Oh
They
yeah.
were, they were in their 70s back then. And they said, all the kids are going to be here.
yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. Who's the Pitbull of comedy?
Oh, Bobby Slayton.
Yeah, Bobby Slayton was there. Anyway, I was there, but Buddy Hackett, when he came off stage, I was speaking to him one time, I think when he was performing at the Sands. And that's another story about how he told me I was in Barstow and I called him, and not Barstow. What's the thermometer, the world's largest thermometer?
Baker.
Somewhere
It's
the halfway
it's
point.
right there. It's in Barstow or Baker. It's right
It's
there.
Baker. Baker has the thermometer.
Wherever it is, right? The world's largest
Why
thermometer.
do you not trust me?
No, I believe you. Jeez. Yeah. All right. So he called. Well, one time he gets off stage and he says, "I fooled him again." Like even Buddy Hackett
I like that.
would
I like
say,
that.
"I said, how'd you do? How was the show?" And he said, "I fooled him again."
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, and then
Wow.
yeah, and I'm not sure if it was the same conversation where he yelled at me and told me to go home. But that's
Well, that happened a lot, didn't it? Because there was a
Just-
point he had these elephants outside his house,
Yes.
and
Now-
Jason would leave letters in the tusks of the elephants for him.
Yeah, my buddy worked at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, and Don Rickles and this guy.
Tom Rickles.
Yeah, there's so too many stories, Johnny, to rehash. But let's get to you because this is
Yeah,
about
Johnny.
the both of
Okay,
you.
but wait. Before I go any further as well, I just want to. I wanted to jump back on two things. I already acknowledged the thing with Eleanor, and I also, you may not have known this, but Mitzi used to call me a little mouse.
That's
She's
terrible.
like, hey, she would always go, hey, it's the little mouse. You look like a little mouse, you know that? Because at that time I was like $130,
Oh,
you know,
a little
when
mouse.
I was so slim. Anyway,
So your first
Okay,
time,
so what-
Johnny, what gave you the confidence to step on stage? And then part two of this question is, well, just remember there's a part two. So go ahead, share.
so without giving away too much of the 2 minutes of guts that you were going to ask us about, like one specific moment, I think, but
Yeah, we'll discuss that.
yeah, but this is kind of a lead-in. So
Okay.
I had moved to LA. I had been out here for already 2 months. And my friend from high school, who was the guy who's a singer, he was the guy that talked me into moving to LA from small town Tulare, California, between Fresno and Bakersfield. And remember in the early 90s, there's nobody was leaving Tulare, let alone to come out to LA and do anything. Okay. It's all farming community, dairy and all that. So he moved, he talked me into coming out. And I was there, and I had been there like a couple months, and he kept kind of hounding me. He's like, hey man, when you gonna get up with the open mic night and do this? And I was like, yeah. You know, like I'm working on my stuff, you know. And he would go, and then one night he just goes, tell you what, I'll sit in this chair and you do that 5-minute set for me. That which I would not do right now. I wouldn't do that for
Nobody
anybody
would.
like that.
Yeah,
But I
that's
did it.
crazy.
I start doing my stuff, and my buddy said, by the way, we look back and laugh our asses off. This guy, he was a singer, knew nothing about comedy, but I'm doing all I had was really short jokes. I really had a lot of short stuff. And so he's sitting, he's all, good.
Don't sell yourself short, Johnny.
Oh my God. Oh, anyway. he was sitting there and he was going, okay, nice, deliver, nice, okay. First of all,
That's crazy.
He knew nothing about comedy, but he was going there, and I was like, you think I could do that set? And he's like, you got to, man. Let's do it. I'll go with you. You have to start, man. Because he was the one that
Wow.
talked me into it. So we went down to the LA Cabaret, which was in
Yeah.
Encino on Louise and right off of Ventura Boulevard, Louise, a little bit before Balboa, Louise and Ventura. We signed up, okay? And I brought my camcorder. I used to have my camcorder with me everywhere back then.
So
and then,
big.
And the guy signing us up was the bartender. He immediately goes, can't record here in the lounge. I go, oh, what? And then I remember I kind of reacted like that. And the guy immediately goes, you got a problem? Because remember the way they treated comics back then? It was just like, it's an open mic night. It was my first time.
Yeah.
So that was what got me there. But Jess, you're going to love this because I sign up and we sit, in the little area. And my buddy's like, you got to memorize. I go, man, I got it down. I got all my short jokes. I got everything. They start the show. And then a little before I'm coming up and I'm getting ready. I'm sitting there. And you know that the little guy that ended up, the actor that ended up on Seinfeld, the little person guy.
Oh yeah. With the lifts.
Okay. He was the partner with Michael Richards.
Kramer. Yeah.
With Kramer.
Yeah. He had the lifts.
He walks in.
Okay.
He walks in. He's a stand-up. So they bring him up. They bump me. He's a little person. All I have is my 5 minutes of short jokes. And I told my friend, I go, hey, I got it. They bring him up. And the first thing he does is the guy leaves the mic way up. So he walks up and does this thing.
Oh, yeah.
As he's looking up at the mic. And he grabs it and he's doing, and I kept telling my friend, I got to leave. We got to get out of here. I can't go up.
I stole his act.
No. At the same time, naivete is bliss. I was at my friend. Leave now. You're on the lineup. So he gets through doing making fun of himself, and he's all these over the rainbow and the Wizard of Oz jokes. He gets through, and the guy goes, "Oh, okay. Now up next, hey, I've never seen this guy yet. I think it's his first time here tonight." So he introduces me, and
the worst thing you can do.
So good.
I had my dad's ring on. My dad had this high school ring thing, and I had it on for good luck. And I remember going, I'm just going to be I always want to be a stand-up with a lot of energy. I always wanted, that was my thing. I'm going to be like an energy comic. So my buddy goes, get out there, man. So they introduce me and I start running to the stage. And before I get to the stage, I go, yes, thank you. Like that. And my dad's ring flew off and went under somebody's table.
No.
And I freak out because I'm going, I can't lose my dad's ring. So I stop. I go, whoa. No. I think it's under here. It's under here. And then, but here's the crazy thing. People were like laughing.
They thought it was part of your act.
That it was part of what I was doing.
Oh my God.
So I'm looking, I'm going, I'm sorry. Could you move your foot? It's right there. It's because I didn't even care about the set. It was my dad's ring. Oh my God. From 1952 or something. So I get the ring and then I run back up and I go, okay, all right. Thanks. This and that, whatever. Thanks, guys. Not thanks, guys, like Freddie, but thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, thanks, brother.
You
know what I mean?
Anyway, so I start doing what do I do though? First I go, hey guys, yeah, man, it's tough being short. Oh, he knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I bring up the little guy. And I proceed to go through my short jokes. It's not going that good. Because they're probably going, dude.
We just heard this. Yeah.
But it was like they liked me. And then at one point I felt overly confident. I felt like I was really feeling good.
Oh, the overconfidence.
There was a semicircle curtain. The curtain was semicircle. I thought the stage followed it. but I didn't know the stage was cut off. So as
Please
I
tell me you
leaned
fell.
back, my foot went it into nothing because it was cut in the back. And I fell and I grabbed onto the curtain like this. I go, oh my God. And then I went, and then people are dying, dude. So they thought the ring, the fact that I was making fun of the little guy, I ended up killing.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow.
I ended up absolutely having the best set, dude, for 5 minutes. And I
Yeah.
remember I walked off, and my buddy, my high school friend, was just like, "Oh my God, dude, you're freaking hilarious!" And this older gentleman who had been doing comedy for years, he had that Brian Johnson hat,
Well, yeah.
and he
Johnny's
had
hat?
glasses, and
No.
the cat, the derby, the paperboy
Oh, yeah.
cap
Yeah.
or hat, and then he leans over and he goes, "Kid, that was great, kid. You're going places." And I remember thinking, oh, this is easy. I thought it was super easy because even though things went wrong, it seemed like everything ended up like it was meant to be.
Well, the beauty is you lived in those moments and they didn't scare you.
Right.
Because
Because
most people would be like, I gotta go, and just
Right.
run away.
right. And but that's also being naive, going,
True, that helps.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
because
Yeah,
if I had been a little more seasoned, let's just say I had been doing it a year or two, I would have went over to the host. Hey man, don't put me on after the little guy. Put me a couple later. Is what I probably would have said. Don't put me right after him, man. He's doing little person at that time. It was midget jokes. He was doing midget jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I got the guts to go up. But
Don't
it was
worry, you can
really
say it. Trump's in office. You can say whatever you want. Fine.
So anyway, so
Yeah.
that was how really
Okay.
my friend, I owe a lot to my friend.
Wow.
My best friend.
Okay. Now here's part two of confidence, timing, and experience. And maybe you once you got the bug, you got bitten, that's it. You're like, this is it, I guess. This is what I'm going to be doing. But obviously you've had doubts over your career. And
Yesterday.
Doubts right now.
well,
I said yesterday, she said right now.
there was a point
About
in
this
your
podcast.
Well, there was a point in your career. What? I'm sorry. There was a point in your career where Johnny, go ahead,
We're
swallow that
listening.
water.
We're listening.
Where you thought there was a time where you're like, all right, either this is it, I'm going to dedicate my life, because when you're doing it once and twice and you don't know if this is your path that you're going to choose. When did you finally you built enough scar tissue to be resilient enough to determine this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? What was there a time? Was it in a pitch meeting? Where was it where there was no going back?
Am I first again?
Sure.
Well, that's a really, yeah.
So I'm gonna say this. So remember that I said that I did that show where I roasted that guy and Dice was there, Andrew Dice Clay, whatever. Do I have to say his whole name every time?
No.
Anyway, so he was there and he said to me, he goes, "You're doing stand up," and at the time we had a show on VH1. It was Dice's reality show called I believe it was called Dice Undisputed. I don't know, it was a long time ago on VH1.
Yeah.
And it was only on for like 6 episodes. So, but at that moment it was airing. And when Andrew saw me and what I can do, he goes, "You know what? You're going to come on the road with me." So I was like, he goes, "We could promote the show." At that point we thought maybe we'd do a season 2, but whatever. So we were kind of thinking like, we could promote the show and make it a big deal. And so I go, "Really?" And so I had 3 months to prepare to open for Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh.
That's not good. So I took Adam Barnhart's class and he helped me develop an 8-minute set that's all I was doing was 7 or 8 minutes in front of Andrew or Dice. And we go to first we went to Northern California, Redding,
Yeah.
and the shows were phenomenal. In Redding, I think the electricity went out. So I was on stage and my mic went out, and Andrew was like, "Get off the stage." So I got off, and it was me, Dice, and Wheels. And it took them almost an hour to fix it. All the people waited, and I was walking in a circle rubbing a picture of Freddie Soto, and Wheels whispered in my ear, "Even he can't help you now."
Oh, that's nice.
But
Jesus.
he was being
Uh,
funny. He was
uh,
being funny. It took me out of my head. It made me laugh really hard. And so Andrew Dice goes, "If you don't want to go on, you don't have to go on." I go, "No," because I had this confidence because the night before went so great at the State Theater. So I was like, I got it. And I went on. I had a great set. So
See, but Eleanor, like you say, theater. This is 800, 900 seats. This
oh no,
is
this was
not
15. That was 1,200. The night before was 2,500.
right. So you're going
So
from
I'm three
open
months in.
mic, right?
Yeah. But people were watching the show, and the Dice would say to me, "Don't get nervous. They know you from the show." I said,
Oh.
"Oh, so I was doing this, oh, they know me in my head, the fake confidence, whatever you want to call it." Then we go to New York. On the way to New York, the show was done, and it wasn't airing anymore, and we had a fight with the producers and weren't doing a season two. So now I'm in New York, and we're at Westbury Music Fair. It's in the round. Okay,
Mm.
the people front,
Yeah.
behind. I forget how many seats exactly. I want to say 25, but I could be wrong. And Andrew Dice was telling me, like, you gotta, dress different. You gotta show like people your tough attitude. Like you should be wearing short shorts and high boots. I'm like, wait, what? I don't think that's. But he knows a lot about costuming, so I listened. And I was like, I don't think my labia hanging out is going to help anything. But all right, so I got these cute little shorts, high boots, cute little top, little half bra, and I'm on stage just, My sister drove up from South Philly 2 hours, right? 2.5, because it's Long Island. I got her in there. And they put two comics on before, took an intermission, and then I went out. Why this happened, I'll never know. I go out, I say I'm from Philly. Immediately, everyone starts booing. When I say booing, curse F the Eagles, F the Phillies, like, so I'm like, what? And they're like, "Where's Di?" From the front, the sides, and the back. And now I'm sweating. My cute little half bra slid down. It's on my stomach. Now it looks like I have tumors in my stomach. And I'm melting. I'm like, I'm dead. I'm dead. And they're booing, and I'm getting angrier and angrier in my head. Like they said, "Where's Dice?" And I went, "He's up my ass. You want to tickle his feet?" Like I lost it. And it's exactly what you should never do on stage. I had no control. I tried to keep control, composure. The only thing that kept me composed was I locked eyes with my sister Karen, and she threw her hands up in the air as to say, "What do you want to do? You want to fight this whole room? I'll start in this section. I'll meet you in the middle." Like, because she's crazy like me, but she's 10 years older. And then when she did that, it kind of made me giggle. I did my closing bit. They were still booing, and I walked off. And Andrew was like, "F them, I'm not going out there." And I'm like, "They want you. They don't want me. They want you. Go out there." Right. So, but I was a little nervous that if me and Karen, my sister, started fighting, that the papers would read the next day, "Two South Philly girls tried to beat up Long Island." So I didn't do it. But it made me giggle thinking of that. But so he wouldn't go out. I convince him to go out. He goes out. I go up in the dressing room. I call my mom, and I'm sobbing, pulling my bra back up, sobbing. And my brother Tommy got on the phone. He's like, "They booed Blondie. Who cares?" And I'm like, "I'm not Blondie. I'm not never gonna be Blondie. You're making it worse." Makeup everywhere. I clean myself up. I walk out to watch Andrew, who's annihilating this room because he's so mad at what they did to me. And the guy goes, "Hey, good set." And I go, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, we just wanted to see Andrew. We didn't want to see you."
Jeez.
Who
So
said that?
One of the customers. Like
One of the
because
guys.
I walked out to just, I was like,
So hold on a second. So that's
But
the
so that
pinnacle.
bit
Yeah.
that was the bug. Like once I got that taste of people booing me, I go, that's never gonna happen again. Never gonna. I mean, it did happen the next night in Jersey, but that's different.
That's a
I
different.
needed a minute.
but remember, you're being put in that situation 3 months in. Think about that, Jason.
Well, right. And then this is what Dice said. He said, listen, you did great. Don't worry about like that, because 2 nights in a row I did get booed. But so did the other opening act in Jersey. So I was like, all right, it's just they want to see Andrew. I kept hearing
Yeah.
that stupid customer in my head. And then the thing is, Dice said, uh, I can't, I get too sensitive because you're like my family. And if people are booing you, it's going to bother me. So I can't do it. So if I'm going to go out for 1 year, if you really want to do this, then we'll revisit it. And for 1 year, he didn't hire me or anything. And I just worked my tail off to make
Oh,
sure I never get booed again. And that's what I did. Like, but that propelled me. Like, you're not going to tell me I can't do something. I know
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah, because along with that, you're not going to build that confidence without gut crushing uh,
Right.
blows, right?
We have to
And
get jumped in
failures.
sometimes.
Yeah. Now, Johnny, where was it in your? Yes, sir.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Wait, real quick. That's interesting because if those shows had gone well,
I would have
Eleanor
had
might have
this. Yeah.
she might have gotten in her head too. Oh, I need to wear short shorts and high heels, and that's gonna be my. And it would have taken her in the wrong
Yeah.
direction for a while because it would have taken her longer because she would have thought that's what I need to do.
Yeah,
Then I
that's a
didn't
great
realize I
point.
just need to
Fail
prep.
fast.
Yeah.
Fail fast.
This is
And
what works. Ha 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 ha.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So that's very interesting on that end of the bad does those bad shows sometimes
We need
really
them. We need
we
them.
do need them.
They kind of hit you. They wake you up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
all right, so Johnny, where in your career did you think I can make a go of this? This is a career for me.
Well, I still haven't hit
Um,
that part yet.
Come on.
what's that?
Come
The
on.
bad part? What?
No,
I still,
she said, yeah.
I still don't think I can make a go of it. I mean, forget it, Johnny. Just do your thing.
So I think I mean that when I was 3 years in, and even though the show was a Latino show, it was syndicated on Fox called Culture Clash. Remember Culture
Oh
Clash?
yeah, of course. Yeah.
So they were bringing comics on. They were bringing all the dudes that I was doing stand up around. Jeff Garcia and Willie Barcena and Carlos Oscar, and they were all getting on, and I wasn't. And I was just like, oh my God. But I was only 3 years in, you know. But I remember they finally go, hey, Pat Buckles was like, hey, you got in on your last showcase, you're doing it. And for me, when I did that taping, and of course, it just seemed when you get it at a TV taping at 3 years, which was pretty quick.
Very
I
quick.
felt like I just really felt like, oh man, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. This is everything's lining up, you know. And then a year, I did BET later that year, and then the following year, I became a paid regular at the Comedy Store. And I think I went, this is without a doubt. This
Yeah.
is what I'm supposed to be. This is absolutely what I'm supposed to be doing. And moving here is all, but there were those nights that, like Eleanor's talking about, those nights where, you start off and you get in a groove, and then all of a sudden either you try different stuff or and then you just bomb horribly. And
Mm.
you go home going, what am I doing? I can, because I remember telling myself I can always go back to Tulare at
Yeah.
any time. I can go back home. I can get a job. My family, friends are gonna.
Everyone's still there.
Everyone's still there. The whole thing. So I really think that little taping But this is also how young and green. I didn't know I didn't know it was a syndicated show.
Oh
So
no. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I thought it was, because it was Fox. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's everywhere. So I call I have so many. I got, my dad. Well, Eleanor, big family. My dad had
Yeah.
13 in his. So yeah. So I got 30 some first cousins and my aunts, and I call everybody. I'm going to be on Fox at 8 o'clock. It's called Culture Clash. And then all I remember is people, cousins, everybody call me, where? Where is this team show? I had no idea what syndicated meant. I was like, it wasn't even in any of their markets.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Okay, shifting gears, let's talk discipline, which is something that I lacked. Uh, in that I just felt that if I just got on stage enough, that it would all work itself out on stage. Like, I'm going to try to get Mr. Bob Oshak on this podcast.
Oh my
And we
God.
know Mr. Bob Oshak's
Ridiculous.
preparation. And I'd find him on, what's the hill up to the Crest Hill? Kings, what is it?
Kings, Queens.
Queens, yeah.
Queens is the one we walked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Queens. And I saw him in his Geo, 1993 Geo, with a bottle of, not a bottle, a 1 gallon jug of water and his notebook open on a Sunday night, parked on the side of the hill,
Yeah.
right? I mean, the preparation and the discipline, and obviously he's a successful writer now for many,
Yeah.
many years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go into who he's working for, but A-lister, writes for A-listers, writes A-listing jokes
Mhm.
for other people
But
that get
even
up
his own thing was so good but so meticulously written.
meticulous, like a
You could hear
Seinfeld.
the punctuation
Right,
sometimes. I'm like,
right. Yeah, so let's talk discipline in writing and
yeah.
where you do your creating because again, this podcast is, yes, it's dedicated to more on the sales side and what's required to be successful in sales, but there is that again, the book that I have written is the parallels between, oh, Eleanor's going to hold it up. Thank you. Uh, the parallels between stand up and sales, the discipline that's required in order
Yeah.
to be successful in anything. So, Johnny, you start here. Where
Mm.
do you do your writing? Do you figure it out on stage, or are you still dedicating time to write? Where are you doing?
Yeah, this is a real tricky one for me because when you even told me that process, and I go, boy, I guess I've had a kind of the same process. Is sometimes I'll either be driving. Driving is because you're taking care. What is that thing that says the right side of the brain is the technical and the left is the creative. So our motor skills is on the right, and then if you're doing something, it takes away from blocking yourself with the motor technical side or whatever. I don't know whether that's true or not,
No,
but I find it interesting that I do a lot of things will pop into my head when I'm driving or I'm walking or I'm doing things. But my process was always I would just write. It's always been very only kind of like bullet points, and then
I like that.
everything else got filled in. And sometimes in a weird way, and I don't know if this is because I'm left-handed, but I remember having these conversations with other comics and writers. I would literally go, this is the end. Like I know it needs to end with this is the funniest part. So let me build backwards.
Oh
nice.
yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, yeah.
geez, that's what we do in sales. When you're debriefing a sale or I'm coaching someone in sales, I say, tell me how it ended. And
Oh,
then we can work backwards and see how
interesting.
you ended up there. So keep going. I love that.
Interesting because I don't, Elle, I don't know if you remember that bit I did years and years ago with in the grocery line with the old guy trying to
Yeah.
swipe his card, and he's all, "Come on, dip it a do, come on now, collaborative Jane." So I remember I wanted to end with that guy. I remember just standing in line, going, "This is going to be the end," because I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
anything after this is gonna be any better.
Way funnier. Right, right.
So what I started doing was gradually adding on stuff that would happen to me in the grocery stores. So then it was like, oh, because of this happened, and then this happened, and this, and then standing in line, which lane am I going to pick? Because I had that whole thing of you mark what person you would be behind, and you have that little mental race. And it was this long frustration after frustration, and now I'm finally there, and I'm next, and then I get the old guy with the card for the first time. So that was the close and the climax of that bit, but it started with that part, and then I filled in going the other direction. But then something like parking in my parking was just basically telling that story. Like people would go before I ever did it on stage. I remember telling the story at a gig, and Kim Tavares and I can't remember who else was doing it at the Tempe Improv with me, and it was after the show, and we were having drinks, and they go, "You got to do that." And I go, "Do what? It's not a bit."
Don't you hate that?
Tell the story. And I go, just like that? They go, yes, just tell what happened with everybody coming out and him hitting the. And so something like that literally was because it happened in front of me.
Yeah.
It was magic. It was this lightning in a bottle right there. And the only thing I ended up adding, I did add some stuff afterwards of him making a phone call, and I remember Eleanor used to get a kick. There was a part in there when I go the tag to close it all out with him, who's parking in my, their news reporters were in the Middle East.
Yeah.
That's where they're going. Why are you so upset? And then they said, my cousin and somebody parking, and it's
somebody's parking in his parking.
Who's parking?
So
but
good.
I had one line where there was a guy that came up to me after a show or something, a Middle Eastern guy, and this shows the difference in what you can get away with. There was a line I used to do where I'd say, I don't know what this guy's going to do. I don't know if he's going to go Alibaba and then blow himself up. And El would always go, the way you say Alibaba, then I don't know. I don't know. Little things like that sometimes are funny to comics or whatever. But so the process silly. For me is like, if I take notes with me, all I do is they're just all bullet points.
Yeah.
So it's just an asterisk and an asterisk, and then underneath sometimes a dash that goes with that topic.
That's so exactly what I just did.
Mexicans, maybe it's short Mexicans is the asterisk, and then underneath in a dash, I'll be me 5'5", and then the next topic is whatever, and then asterisk, and then underneath dash, almost like an outline. But that's why a lot of times it was very easy for me at TV tapings, because they would always go, hey, we're going to go ahead and have the monitor with your bullet points, so you can see where your bullet points. I go, oh my God, yeah, here. And then I'd see other comics. Whoa, wait, what? No, everything's. But Oshak would have had a heart attack.
Yes. Oh, unbelievable. Yeah.
Yes.
So you got that semicolons in there. There's be a lot. There's got to be all of it.
So that for me, dude, when I did TV tapings and I could see, and I already had it memorized. We all had it memorized, but to see the bullet points for me was like, oh my God, it was gold for me, because in case I did get lost, I could see where some other comics.
What a taping, sometimes you get off put from the lights or something. A camera moves, you're like, you could get immediately. So, but that would be amazing to get. They don't do that no more. You got to write every word. Every word.
So they're not doing that anymore?
Every word has to be Bobo Shacked, we call it. No, I'm just kidding. But every word has to be written.
No, wait a minute. This must depend on who you're. What is this like? Netflix
Bill Burr's show. We had to give him exactly what we were saying. Comedy Central wanted when I did stand up in stilettos, they wanted exactly what we were saying. It's all about censorship.
Oh my! I would have a hard time with that.
It's awful. Tonight Show, all of it. You have to give them all of it. And then they go through and cross out. You can't say this word. You can't say that word. Can't say this.
Right.
All right, Eleanor. In terms of,
I forgot what the question was.
So the question is, let's talk just discipline.
I need more for sure, but I do what Johnny does. I'm very much a storyteller, so I'll just write the incident that happened,
We're very
blah blah blah. My mom getting out of the shower, because I've been torturing her lately on stage, and so she's gonna lock me out of her house if she sees my set. But it's like I like things that happen organically, and then I'll just like you said the bullet points because I always change in between. It's never
yeah.
all. I always
Never
hate
the
it
same.
from waiting tables at the Comedy Store. I used to say because I worked sometimes 6, 7 nights a week. I barely. There was one time when Mitzi was firing managers. I think I did 2 months with not ever having a night off, and it was just It was awful. My first ex fiance. There's a few. Anyway, he wanted to propose to me and I couldn't go to the concert because it was during that time where I was working every night. And he's like, I wanted to propose to you and you wouldn't take off from your waitressing job. I'm like, hey man, I gotta make money. Like I'm an idiot. So that's my ex, but yeah. So
Okay.
it was like
Oh, yes.
every night. But my thing is I would hear the comics and I would, put my drinks out accordingly. And if I could recite the comic verbatim, they weren't any good.
Mm.
They weren't any good. Because I could literally put my drinks down to ba 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 ba. Right here, he's gonna say this, and then I can go in.
Mm.
Like I knew exactly, and there was a lot of them back then. In the early '90s,
Yeah.
forget it. Mid '90s, they one comic, he perfected 20 minutes, and one night nobody was there, and none of the door guys were seen enough by Mitzi or passed by Mitzi, so we couldn't put them on and we couldn't find a comic. And it's not the day of cell phones, so we're called. They're freaking out, and I go, "Why don't you just stretch him?" And the manager goes, "What's he gonna do? Start over?" He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. But that's what I like. I like more organic storytelling.
Yeah.
Like so, the bullet points to me and working backwards is one of my. That's exactly what I do. So I like that.
All right. We're coming up on an hour. Do we have time for maybe one more question?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Another question I have for the both of you. Uh,
Wait, what happened to 2 minutes? Our decision on that changed everything.
well, didn't we talk about those?
Oh, those were the 2 minutes of guts.
Yeah. Do you want if you've got okay, let's talk about it. Is there a point in
Johnny lost his guts.
is there all right, let's discuss and talk about 2 minutes of guts in your career that changed your career trajectory.
Oh well, you know what? Since I brought it up, I'm going to go ahead because I thought long and hard about this, and I know you even said, "Hey man, go ahead and try to go outside the box if you can. It doesn't have to be stand up. It doesn't have to be acting, whatever." But the friend I was telling you about earlier, the guy that got me on stage.
Yeah, that's what we
Okay.
thought the guts were. But okay.
Well, the reason why I thought there was going to be a wrap up. Like, what was the moment where to me, this is where it's not about stand up and it's not about acting or my career or things like that. It's really where my life completely changed and did a
Yeah.
180. So when my friend moved to LA with there were four of them, his brother, and then another musician. So it's going to be two musicians, a stunt. His brother was signed up for stunt school, and then the other guy was going to be an actor. We all went to high school together.
Okay.
So this is my best friend, but he was moving. I wished him the best, and he moved to LA to go pursue his uh, singing career with his other buddy that was in his band, the local band. They moved 6 months later. I get a call from him, and he's the guy that's like, "Hey man, listen, we got so and so. My brother Matthew met this guy. He's from near Tulare. He grew up near Tulare. He's been sleeping on our couch, man. So we want to go from a 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom, but we need one more roommate. You always said you wanted to do stand up, man. Come on." And I was working. I had a steady job working at the Lewis Rich turkey plant.
Ew.
Okay. I was in the cold cuts on the assembly line, putting labels as the conveyor belt goes by, good benefits, everything. So I go, his name's Anthony. And so she give a shout out to Anthony because without him, Anthony Avila. Anyway, he goes, hey, we're thinking about moving in, but it's 2 weeks from now. It was the middle of March. They were going to move in
Wow.
April 1st from a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. So this guy could move in with them because they liked him. And he and his brother, they hit it off at the stunt school. So I go, wait a minute, how much time? And he's like, dude, we got to know. Like, can you give us an answer tomorrow? Or like, you got to give us, he was like 24 hours. Is that? And I remember going, yeah, man, I don't know, dude. I got a job. I had gotten back with this longtime girlfriend that had broke my heart a year and a half before. The girl I wanted to marry, after he moved, we got reconnected. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna marry this girl. So that night I just sat there. Now I'm an overthinker, I better make this point. Normally, to a fault, sometimes I'm an overthinker. I can overthink things, and I end up with a decision of no. Like when you asked me, Jason, I didn't think about it. Most people I would have said, let's talk about your podcast on Monday and tell me what it's about. And then you would have told me and I would have said, no, thanks. Maybe. But you hit me and you're just like, we want to do a podcast? I go, it's you, of course. I just thought we were going to be, but this is exactly perfect though. It worked out the way I thought. But sometimes I can overthink and go, I don't know, dude, if I'm going to fit in your business thing and whatever. So I just went out of my complete comfort zone for myself, especially at that age of like 22.
So, yeah.
I showed up to work. I told him, I go, dude, I think I'm going to do this. I'll call you tomorrow. And then I go to work. I give them not 2-week notice. I give them a 1-week notice. And they're like, you can't say 2. I go, I can't, man. I'm moving to LA. I'm moving to LA next week. Walk out of there. When I get home, there's a message on my answering machine from him. He's all, Johnny, it's Anthony. Hold on. We may not be moving in just yet. Okay? So hold on, dude. I think you said you weren't going to do it anyway. I don't know, but relax. You got time. We may not do it till. I go, oh my God, I just gave my notice. So I call him. He answers. And I go, hey, dude, I just gave my notice at work. I gave a week's notice too. Like I was not nice. I could have probably went back if I'd given 2. I was like, I'm not doing 2 weeks. You guys get a week out of me. Be happy on that. I'm out of here. Like I was a little dicky. And he goes, oh shit. And I heard him turn and go, he gave his notice at work. And all the guys go, oh shit. So he goes, well, let's just try to get the place then. And I was gone in a week. And I'll tell you, that right there changed everything in my life. My life was, I may have ended up, I would have stayed in Tulare, may or may not have married that girl. I would have never, ever gotten to LA if he hadn't thrown that option and I didn't think about it.
That's amazing.
I just went, yeah.
This is a theme that is constantly reoccurring with the interviews. These decisions are happening when you're young, where you can risk.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, Eleanor,
I'm saying my comedy leap. It was later in life.
Yes. Well, sure. But to get you into that position, you came out to LA when you were 18, right?
21.
Okay, 21. And you had a good job. So what was that the pinnacle?
No.
I thought you were on the stock exchange floor.
I worked the stock exchange. I was working at my dad's typewriter store. None of these were good jobs. The stock exchange was probably the better of them, but I didn't last down there. And then I worked at a grocery store. I think I left the stock exchange and was at the grocery store before I came here. Oh no, I was at Corned Beef Academy.
Oh, jeez. All right.
So you went from one market to another market.
Yeah, like the stock market was great, but Johnny, I got it. Okay, so
tough crowd.
Johnny doesn't like it if you don't laugh immediately, and so. But the Corned Beef Academy was where I was working. I left the stock exchange because it was too stressful. Those people were crazy.
All right. Well, so where?
So then there was this. I did this acting thing in Philly, or I'm sorry, in New York. It started in Philly. We had the showcase in New York, and in New York, I met this person that said, "Hey, if you're really interested in acting, we do this thing in LA." Now, I'm poor beyond poor, you know. I mean, I always had jobs. I was a lifeguard. I do all kinds of whatever. I had a million jobs, but I didn't have like a lot of money. And I definitely didn't have a lot of money saved up. And so this guy said, if you're interested, we do this 3-month program. We house you and you do acting classes all day. And I go, you know what? I'm in. And I want to say it was like, maybe like $1,200, maybe more, but that's like a million now, you know, like this is 93. So,
Yeah.
or 92, 90, 93, yeah, something like that. And so
Mhm.
I was like, I go, I'm doing it. I don't care. And at the time I had this boyfriend, we were together for 7 years, like all through high school, all through. So I was like, I tried to go to college for a little bit, it didn't work out, but whatever. So his name was Mario. I had a few of these. It's South Philly. So Mario was like, wait, I want to be an actor too. I'm like, what? And I was like, well, this guy offered me, he saw me do a monologue. It's me. I'm special.
Yeah.
I'm the actress, you know? And he's like, yeah, I bet if I go to California with you and I say I want to sign up, they'll let me sign up. And they did. And he came to California with me, this moron. And we lived in this giant house, 1502 Queens Road, above Crest Hill. I had no idea. And I didn't have a car, I didn't have a license. I thought you could public transportation was everywhere, not in
Oh,
LA. And
Oh,
so I every day I hooked up with my Chris, my old roommate, one of my best friends in the world, Chris Grantham, hilarious guy, brilliant actor. And we walked everywhere to get jobs because we were the only ones in the house that were serious about moving to LA. I didn't care about what was going on in the house. It was terrible, like housing. We were in bunk beds and stuff. Like it was a little culty, but we didn't care. This was our to get out from where we came from. Chris came from a little bit more money, but not a lot of people leave where I'm from either, Johnny. Like,
yeah.
right.
you know, as far as moving out, I mean, they
Well,
might
that
move to Jersey and get wild, but that's it. That's 6 miles, by the way. In case
well,
anybody
the
was
other thing
counting.
is with these life-changing decisions, you just didn't know any better because
No, yeah, and that
you
was a
have
young
so
one where I
much
was like,
you got a
I don't
lot of
care.
road in front of you,
Yeah.
right?
You gotta there's like I said, I think I even told myself a year. I'll go to LA for a year. If it doesn't work out, I'll move back to Tulare. I
Yeah.
can get a job anywhere with
Yeah.
family and friends.
Well,
So
that's what I
it's
want.
and keep in mind, Jason, I go to LA. I eventually end up at the Comedy Store as a regular, and then my but Eleanor hires Jennifer, who I end up meeting there, and we get married, and we have my daughter, and so it's like all these things happened. I've got my 13-year-old daughters. We're because of that, because of Anthony Avila saying to me, "You've got, can you do it or not? Yes or no?"
Yeah.
And if I had been my normal self, I think laid there and waited a day or two or three. Or how
Mm,
about this? He would have called the next day anyway. If
Yeah.
I
Said,
had gone
forget
in there,
it. We're good. Yeah.
and I would have been like, whew, okay,
And
and
that would have given you more time to think.
it would have never happened. It would,
mm,
I can guarantee you, it would have never happened.
mm.
And but by the way, the reason they let Mario come into that program because the two guys that run it were these creepy old gay guys, and they thought he was so hot. But I'm in this house. We're doing all this acting work. One of the guys has a house in Palm Springs. Mario gets to go every weekend, and he's so oblivious that these are gay men trying to like recruit, right? And he's in Palm Springs every week. I loved it. I was like, I can't wait to get rid of this guy. He, I stayed. He was so angry. It got to the point where he got physical,
Mm.
like bad physical. And you know me, I'm mentally unstable anyway.
Well,
And
but it's your
so,
brothers that I'm concerned about too.
well, so that's what I. But the way he did that, like when he did what he did, I remember thinking, "Whoa, is he crazy or am I crazy?" And then I remember I shut the door, I locked it, and I called my brother Jimmy. I go, "Yo, you're not gonna believe what just happened." And then he was gone within like an hour,
Mm.
back to
And by
Philly.
the way, I'm just curious. Do you know what happened to Mario?
Yeah, I know where he is. We keep an eye on him.
What did his life? But what did it? How?
He's
What did
doing
it?
great. He's doing great.
Oh,
It was. I'll tell you this. And you talk about like moments in their life, like literally, I think he went crazy for a second because he never ever did that. And this guy was like an athlete. He's so athletic. But he was never that kind of person, right? He just
oh,
fucking snapped.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
something snapped, and I felt it wasn't him. That's why I didn't even engage. I was like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that person is. So when I called my brother, and then he was super apologetic, like wrote me letters. I didn't read them. I just threw
Mm.
them away because I didn't want to. But he married a great girl, and they have a great daughter, and they have a great life. So and he does work for the city of Philadelphia, and he's doing fine, and they have a beautiful relationship, and he's like you with his daughter. He's just obsessed. He's a
Wow,
good dad.
that's so
Yeah,
well. That's great to hear because
yeah.
I'm always curious about the people that. Oh, my ex, the one I left, ended up marrying this super rich guy. She didn't have to ever work. Ever. I go, yeah,
See, that was her
that,
thing. Thank God I didn't marry Johnny.
yes, absolutely, 100%. And by the way, I used to tell her, hey, I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to come back when I get on TV. I'm going to pull up in front of your house in a limousine. I'm going to be outside the sunroof with.
Why do we always do that? We're gonna be in a limousine. We're gonna be like, "What up?"
I was going to have roses.
Yeah.
All right.
Hilarious. Anyway, um,
Okay. Well, we should wind it up. I had so many more things to discuss and talk about, but Eleanor's got a hard stop,
At
and
6:30. At six
yeah.
fifteen. You got 15 minutes. Go
well,
ahead.
but this is this. If I open this can of worms, I'm not sure we can bring it back. But
Well, what if we did a part two at some point where we don't touch on anything else from before and go
we
different
could, yeah,
topics?
because there's a whole host of other things. Because there's comedy. I'm sorry, there's confidence that we've really hammered home today. But it's the experience. We did touch upon that with the gigging and the taking your
I
lumps.
I think the one thing we probably didn't get into was, like you said, with timing. I mean, timing as far as how things lined up, yes, but we probably didn't get into the little things of learning what what works for us on stage.
Well, yeah, but also when to take risk on stage.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
There's that. There's so many. Like again, this is could
Yeah.
take 4 hours, but what I
Or,
really wanted to
or how
dis
about this? When this started working,
is Eleanor for those.
Excuse me. That's leading the audience. I object. That's
Yeah.
leading the audience.
Well,
That is a pet peeve of mine. Is that bad? That if somebody laughs after their joke, I,
oh,
it'll
yeah, but what?
happen like organically if you're doing crowd work or something. But if it's
Yeah.
your joke you wrote, I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
don't get me started on that one. Now, what Jason was doing back in the day was Jason was fake
that's very
laughing,
Jason though.
and it and
That
it
is not. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't
no,
leave
it
the
was,
audience.
but we knew it was fake, and the crowd knew it was too, and I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
made
It
it.
was more of a bit. It was a
It
bit.
was a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
It was a bit. He wasn't. Yeah, no, don't. Let me tell you. Oh my god, the amount of certain comics that just do so much laughing after their bit. It. I go crazy, dude. Like sometimes it'll put me in a bad mood if I'm going on right after them
Well,
because I
here's
know
the.
what they're doing. I
Well,
know they're
this is
cheating. I know that. I
this.
know that. I know the little cheats.
You're right.
And it's this thing. Anyway, and then the crowd goes, "Oh my god!" And when they walk out, you hear the audience. When he was laughing, like he was literally cracking himself up. Oh my god, I lost it too. I go, "Oh, I can't."
Well, this is. I wanted to have maybe we can have this discussion about. And again, pulling it back to sales, a lot of a lot of the people I'm coaching and are calling into companies, and they are neck and neck with a competitor, right? And what are they bringing to the table that their competitors are not? And what I find really fascinating, and I've just only got one, I can think of it, Eleanor, when you do decide to read my book at some point, the opening chapter is about New Year's Eve in 1996 when I followed dice New Year's Eve. There was, for
Where?
whatever
In
reason,
the OR? Where?
in the OR, there was no comic to be found. And I don't know, remember who the manager was. Might have been with the guy with the beard. Remember?
Dave George?
Uh,
No, the
no,
big
not
guy,
Dave George.
the heavy set guy.
Yeah, but
Dave,
we don't want to. Yeah,
his
we don't
name's
want to.
Dave.
We shouldn't talk about him because he
Dave,
ended up
yeah.
thieving. Yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway,
him, Dave. Yeah.
the store. You know that room when it is on fire.
Yeah,
Yes.
You like that's the hook. That's the
Yeah.
drug, right?
And
yeah.
it's New Year's
It
Eve?
was New Year's Eve, and someone that the guy didn't
Where's
show.
Harris Pete? What do you,
The
I don't know
next,
this.
I,
Yeah.
I don't know. He was with Chewy, and then they
R.I.P.
said, Jason, go up, and
Uh,
I went up, and it was like it was the best set I've ever had on my. That's the one I hang on. That's the one I cling to.
oh,
I
Yeah,
love it.
really?
that's the one I cling to. That's the
You're
one.
supposed to ride those waves.
Yeah.
Well, but the
Ride
other
those
thing
waves.
is that your job also. I remember in Boston, I followed Dane Cook. I had to follow, like I would come home in the summer and I'd be like, go to Nick's Comedy Stop, and I'd say, hey, can I get on? And they'd go, sure, and go after. I didn't know who Dane Cook was.
No, none of
When
us
Dane
do.
Cook wasn't Dane Cook. I mean, he was Dane Cook, but in Boston, Dane Cook.
Yeah.
And
But that
he
fits cute.
just like,
Yeah.
those types of rooms. And then Nick's Comedy Stop in the day, it was like a long bowling alley, just rows of people, like, a
Mhm.
warehouse. And then I go up with my backpack, and what I did in that. Remember
The
the OJ?
camelback?
No, the OJ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to do this OJ thing. And remember, Gianni, you don't remember, but
Mm.
anyway, and it didn't work. It didn't work. And it was 5 minutes following Dane Cook. I don't wish it upon anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But even what's the guy's
But
name?
you can follow dice.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but I don't know what it was.
Yeah, because Dane's crowd was very at that time. That was probably his young specific crowd, and they were only. Was it his crowd there?
I wasn't ready. Let's put it that
Oh,
way,
Yeah,
right? I mean, I'm like,
yeah,
but for whatever, maybe it was that I'd watch and I knew this. I'd been working the ticket booth or the back door or the parking lot.
yeah.
I
yeah.
was around it, so I knew how to prepare or handle it. And then and I didn't even have time to get nervous.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Exactly. You have time to think about it. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so with the other one, I'm like, okay. And I was watching Dane Cook, was watching him, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm dead. There's no way this, and you're defeated before before you get to the stage.
Mhm.
Like like
Yeah.
when the applause dies before you hit the stage, you're like, oh God, I'm in a
Yeah.
world of trouble here, And
Yeah, man.
so
I
anyway,
mean,
I wanted to discuss and ask you about the how you separate yourself from your competitors, and when someone just destroys,
It's
mm,
and you're going to destroy too, but it's you
right.
gotta
But you don't want to
settle.
be like, I get what you're saying. Like, it's sometimes it will get in your head to when somebody's annihilating. This one time I watched, Johnny, you'll appreciate this more, but uh I was watching Donnell Rawlings. Do you know Donnell Rawlings?
of course
Probably
I
the
do.
funniest probably the funniest man on the planet. And
Hilarious.
he's in the original room. This is before COVID, BC. And he's and not, I mean, the roof, you could, of course, the roof isn't fully attached, but it really was going up, and so it was, Holtzman was on after him. And and I'm on after Holtzman, right? So we're both kind of pacing in the hallway, and you could just feet are stomping. Even the ghosts were in the back, like it was unbelievable. This set, and Holtzman's like, what do I do? What do I do? They're not gonna like Holtzman. They're not gonna like Holtzman, and he's freaking out. And I go, Brian, you have to stop. What am I gonna do up there? He's up there dancing and doing the thing. I can't do that. I can't do that. And I go, Brian, please, I'm on after you. And he went up. He psyched himself out
Yeah.
so hard. He's like, what should I do? Take a shit on the stage and eat it? What should I do? And now he's saying this on stage, and nobody's
Oh,
laughing at him. They're looking at him like, who the fuck is this mental patient that just escaped? And he flips out. Okay, is the next comic out of makeup? I'm done. Like that. And I'm like, I go
oh,
running up. The room is down. Like now the roof's on tight and
yeah.
everyone's sitting.
Everything's cool. Yeah.
Like the principal just came in. Like, terrified, and now I gotta go up, and there's no way, do I dig the hole further? I don't want to follow Donnell either, like, but sometimes you got to just ride the wave. And so Holtzman, when he did that, I was like, there's only one way to go. Up is the only way. He's too far down. We're in China. I gotta get up. So I go, hey man, thank you for letting him come up. They're gonna take him back to the home now. And the fucking crowd went crazy. And I was like, oh thank God. Like thank God that one laugh got it. And
Yeah.
then once you feel that, all the
And
stress
then all of
goes
a sudden
away.
they respect you.
Right.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah, yeah.
apologize to Holtzman. I go, I'm
Well,
sorry for shitting on you.
yeah. And so
But
that,
I sometimes you have to.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, that's
But even last night, and not to interrupt, but like I did DL Hughley's show, and I thought, man, this is great opportunity to open for DL. I love you, DL. I respect him. He's a great comic, and I go in, and they're like, okay, DL's opening the show now, and then he's gonna bring you up. I go, I'm sorry, what's that? This was last night. So they go, yeah,
Oh,
he's gonna do like 20, and then he'll bring you up. He's annihilating his crowd. They know it's him. And then he goes, yeah, this is fun. Let's hear it for Eleanor Kerrigan. Like, and I was like, oh, and I literally was like, who cares? Just let it go. And I rode his wave, and luckily had a great set. And Jesus Trejo was after me, and he did the same thing, but he did like 10 to 15 minutes in between. It's his
oh,
show, but
yeah.
and
see,
it was
this is,
great,
but
and
the
everybody
thing,
loved it. But it's terrifying, and even I said to Jesus, like, because we didn't know whose name was going to be called first, that he just calls it out,
Oh
and that's the
no.
other thing. You can't really prepare. And I thought, man, that's such a great exercise. Like, we don't get to prepare. DL's crushing. And you're like, is it me? Is it you? And I said to Jesus, we have to follow DL. He goes, I'll follow him. And I was like, oh, you're building your fake confidence. Okay, me too. I'll follow him too. Like, but it helped. And that's what we did. We like built ourselves
Yeah.
up.
oh, look what happened. Uh,
Somebody hit you on the side of the head. That's hilarious. Anyway, but
okay.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
But that that
No,
that that kind of surprise element of
yeah.
like you just have to the trust in your own stuff, that first laugh, and a little bit of that fake confidence to just
Well,
kind
that's
of
just it. I'm trying to bring ship to shore with our last couple minutes here. But again, this story of confidence in
mm,
that you've been in those tight spots before. That's what your clients or your potential your prospects want to see in sellers too.
yeah.
Right? In I don't know. I'm trying to
tie it together.
I'm trying to tie it together, not
Yeah.
doing a good job, but that's how,
Fine.
if we're to discuss this again, that's what you say?
I
She
think
said
you're
it's
doing
fine.
fine, Jay.
Oh,
Look how
She
oh,
did
oh.
fine.
insecure he is.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
tack in my head. Is that
All
okay?
right.
There's a tack.
Your prospects want to see that you've been there before, and they can smell fear.
Yeah. It
And
certainly
same
can smell fear.
and same with an audience as well, right? With stand up
Yeah.
as well. And so that's where, or at least when I'm trying to work with folks, that's what I'm trying to remind folks as well, is that you my coach, who I just had on last episode or two ago, he says the worst performance you give is the best they've ever seen.
Right.
And
True.
so
True.
there were,
Yeah.
each one of you, myself included, have stepped off stage and you're like, that was awful. And someone says, that's the best set I've ever seen you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah, I totally agree. And to be when somebody's killing it, man, that is the pressure that you put on yourself is so intense. I think for most comics.
Even to
Um,
this day for you
Oh
folks.
God, yeah.
absolutely.
Because it's, well, but it's because the stakes are that much higher. It's not,
And that's another thing. You and I spoke briefly, Jason, when we were just talking about that one the other day, and about the pacing. So you like to pace. I'm a pacer. I cannot sit and
I
just
wear a
wait.
pacemaker. Hmm. I'm
So comics
sorry.
make fun of me. Comics make fun of me sometimes because they go, "Man, really, dude? After all these years, you're got to walk around and do the figure eight or up and back in the hallway or whatever." And
Same, yeah.
I can't sit down here. Like someone like Maz Jabrani, I remember we'd be sitting in the booth upstairs, and I go, "Hey man, oh, what?" So once the comic before me gets up, especially, I'm like, "Oh, I got 20 minutes, man. Hey guys, I got to get up.
Not
I'm gonna start
decompress.
pacing around. I got to get away from."
Yeah.
Maz would always go. Sometimes I go, "Hey Maz, hey, they gave him the light. Like he's still sitting there in the booth with us." And Maz's thing was, "Oh no. I like to talk until the very last second because to me this gets me in the groove.
mm,
This gets
Interesting.
this gets me in the
oh
groove. Us
God.
talking, chat, and then I walk up. I go, oh God, I can't do that.
No, that would give me severe. Dom Irera said he could do stand up in a hammock. I'm like, no, no. But
I
that's how
believe
relaxed
yes,
he
I
got.
believe that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
All
I'm a
right.
And he's
little
so confident in his writing
yeah,
that he's like annihilation.
and also Dom's kind of his persona.
Yeah.
It works. He gets to, he goes up. He's always been very laid back, and then he gets right into it. So I've always been a stress ball until I get that first
Same.
laugh, and then sometimes I don't, and then I'm like, oh man, I know what's happening, and
See
and
but here's the thing, and this is why you're successful as stand-ups, and you're hired guns. And again, to tie it to sales and the folks I'm working with, they don't there needs to be a little bit of uncomfortability when you're trying to
Yeah.
land a life-changing commission check, and you're trying to land like they're for the company I currently work for, these are people that are closing multi-million dollar deals. And I don't know, there should be a little bit of pulse quickening in
Yeah.
preparation, right? And that's why I wanted to ask and talk to you about your process and how you build your confidence. And obviously, there aren't folks out there that go after multi-million dollar deals that haven't closed several $1,000 deals first, right?
Mhm.
And so just like you've been in the belly room at 11 in front of four people, and you find those sets just as rewarding sometimes as the ones that in a full house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you'll find
or
Sometimes even more so.
well,
Yeah.
sure,
even I was
because
just going to say even more so, and or the preparation and all the years pay off sometimes, especially those shows, those corporate gigs,
Yeah. I
which
got one of
are
those coming up. I'm already
in a
nervous.
banquet room. And speaking of podium, sometimes you're like, "Where's my mic?" And they're like, "It's attached to the podium." Or they go, "No, I gave you guys my writer. Like it's supposed to be." And then you're thrown there, and they tell you, and then
yeah,
right before you go up, this happened to me last year, and all of a sudden I see these three little kids, in the front, and they told me, they go, you can do whatever, don't worry about it. You can do PG-13, you can do even R if you want. There's no kids allowed. I go, perfect. As I'm about to, I go, hey, whoa, whose kids are those? And they go, oh, that's the CEO's kids.
Oh, God.
They're staying in here. They're staying in here. And the guy is literally going, anyway, he's from the San Joaquin. He's reading my whole bio. He started in the, and I go, no, oh, no, they got to get the kids. They go, no, we can't. I go, I was told, and this is all happening. And then the guy goes, and then I go up on stage and I'm reshuffling.
It's the worst.
I'm re-editing while I'm talking, going, take that out, Johnny. Don't do that. That's a little risky. Be careful. And then I remember at one point, the kids started running right there. And I said something. I go, oh, yeah. And give it up for the kids. And this guy. And then this lady, who I think was it was the grandmother. She goes, yeah, there's kids here. So watch it. And I go, and that really upset me. But it's a corporate gig and they're paying a bunch of money. And all I said, I go, I wasn't. But you know what? As a comic, you have to let them know it was their fault.
100%.
I went, oh yeah, just so you know, Bam, I was told no kids, but I'm just so you know,
I didn't invite these kids.
I'm changing my set. I'm like, I'm changing as I'm going right now. I'm going.
Yeah.
So don't tell me, and so I had to edit. I'm stumbling a little. Those are the things.
I'm doing a tap dance up here. Yeah.
Those are the things that people don't realize that comics do. There are times we're on stage, we're talking and we're thinking other stuff at the same time.
100%.
We're literally going, don't do this. Even though we're delivering material, our brain
I'll
is
be like,
still going,
don't say it. there it went. Dang it.
Yeah,
Dang.
Anyway, by the way, Elle, I'm just curious. I'm not going to throw out a number, but I remember your first corporate gig. Have you been able to reach that? Remember the number you gave?
Oh, yeah. I've gotten higher.
Oh, you did? Okay, because a long time I remember you were like, I shot my shot right too high off the top, and then you never. Okay, good for you. Good for you.
That's awesome to hear. All right, folks, let's wrap it up. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Should we do the old, where can we see you? Where can we find you? Is that of interest?
All right. Social media is EJ Kerrigan on Instagram and Twitter or X, however he says it.
And also South Silly Gal at AOL.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop us there. Thank you. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for helping me out. We'll talk soon.
Yes. Absolutely, man. Thank you. Love you,
I can't
Al.
even get in there.
Love you guys. Thank you.
All right, love you. Thank you.
Subscribe to 2 Minutes of Guts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at The Hearts Method, and go to theheartsmethod.com. Thank you for listening.